What's going on, guys? Coming to a video here. Today we're going to place oil and oil filter on this 2023 Ford Maverick. What we're going to need is 5.5 quarts of 5W30 full synthetic oil. Here's the part number for the oil filter. We're going to need a 15mm socket to take out the oil drain bolt, and then we're going to need a T30 torque bit just to take out the splash guard underneath the car, which is 15 screws that we're going to take out. We're going to need a funnel. And then never hurts to have extra towels and obviously our oil filter as well. So let's get to it. And then I like to use these car ramps. They make a lot of room to go underneath the car. Very easy to do an oil change. Let's pop the hood open. And now let's lift up our hood and let's attach the lever to it so the hood stays up. And we're using the T-bit 30 over here. We have 15 screws. We're just gonna go around, as you can see here. And I'm gonna speed this up. Now there are 15 screws and splash guards to the side. What I like to do is just unscrew the oil cap. Just keep it out like that so air can go in, and that way all the oil flows out much easier. Then we're underneath the car. Here's our oil filter. We'll get that in a second. And then right over here is gonna be our oil plug that we gotta unscrew. That's a 15mm bolt. So let's get to that. So let's get our oil drain pan going, and then let's get our 15mm socket. Now that it's cracked loose, I tend to like to kind of keep my arm up, lift this up a little bit so it doesn't get all over. And then the trick is once the screw's almost out, you just pull back on it. See if I can get it. There we go. Whew, that is hot. Now we just let that drain. I'm gonna clean this out as well. One thing I forgot to mention in the video, it never hurts to also have brake cleaner. Once this is still draining, I'm just gonna kind of shoot it with some brake cleaner. The gasket still looks good. People tend to replace these all the time once they do an oil change. I mean, I kind of do it every other one, to be honest. I'm inspecting it. There's no crackage or anything like that, so I'm gonna reuse this one. All right, and now that we see our oil starting to drip like this, it's been going like for about 10 minutes. So we can put our drain plug back in. As you just saw, I use a brake cleaner to clean it. I'm just gonna hand tighten it down. And so I don't get my tools dirty, I'm gonna give it a wipe down, give it some little brake cleaner too. And don't forget to flip your wrench. And I'm just gonna hand tighten it, or wrench tighten it down, meaning like I'm not gonna over tighten it. Just once it's tight, I'm just gonna give it like a good little snug and call it good. There we go. And now let's change our oil filter. So let's get our oil filter. Let's make sure our pan is underneath, our catch pan is underneath the filter. And let's take this out. I'm gonna take it off my hands right now. Yes, I can. Just be very careful because oil is gonna start dripping down. You wanna have some paper towels. This is ready to go. I'm gonna let that drip down for a minute. You want to make sure when you take out the filters, the gasket comes out. There's no black gasket sticking on, meaning it's going to be this black part right there. That's the part that you always want to make sure it's out, because you put the new one in, you turn your car with the new oil, it's going to go everywhere. All right, now that we got our oil filter out, we're going to put the new one in. I've always liked, this is my first time doing a filter change on this truck, so yes, these two are the same size. You put them side by side, they are the same, as you can see there. So this is a match. If you go to AutoZone, that is the one you want to get. If you want to stick with the Ford Motorcraft, that's the part number you want to get. And then what we need to do is fill this up pretty much 3/4 of the way, 75%, and also lubricate the gasket as well. And then let's grab some oil, lubricate the gasket, and let's install our oil filter. It's always good to do this hand tight, and then you can use the wrench to make it more snug. Some people don't recommend using the oil wrench to tighten it, but I like to tighten as hard as I can by hand. There we go. I think that should be good enough. I can't even take it out with my hand anymore, so that's good. The splash guard is gonna be the last thing we're gonna put back, just because we want to put our oil first. So when we put our oil back in, we turn the car, we check underneath for any leaks, anything that we did wrong. At least we can see it right then and there, because if you put the guard back in, turn your car, there's an oil leak, you're gonna have yourself a bigger problem. All right, these little metal things are always a pain to take out, but with your funnel, I like to lift up a little bit for the air. And remember, slow and steady wins the race on this one. All right, our oil's empty. And then right here, we're gonna grab our quart. We're gonna put half of it, and also keep in mind that we put part of it in the oil filter as well. And then let's not forget to put our cap back on. If you have a paper towel nearby, recommend putting that on like there. Beautiful. Guys, so we put 5.5 quarts of oil, change the oil filter. Let's put this cap back on over here, because we're going to recycle our oil into here. Let's turn on the car, then check underneath for any leaks or anything that seems off. All right, let's check for any leaks. When I turned the car, no oil light was on, so that's a good indication. As we see there, we see nothing coming down. That's also great. And then here is our oil drain plug. Right here, we see nothing coming down. You might want to watch it for about a minute or two just in case, but I mean, the engines have so much pressure that you'll be seeing something already. So that's clean. And as we're inspecting all around here, and it was hard to see with that, it is very, very clean, and it is good to go. So now we can put our splash shield back on. Alrighty, oil's in. We did our inspection, no leaks. So now let's put our splash guard on. How we're gonna put this on, you want this little clip part right over here, right there. You want it to go above this little hedge right here. And then right here, I'm just aligning the clip up with the little hedge there, and then I'm gonna hand tighten all the screws by hand, and not tighten all the way, just enough where the threading goes in. And then I'm gonna get my drill and then screw it all in. To reset our oil, we're gonna have the key on, but not on the ignition side. You want to go to the little settings right over there, those two little gears grounding each other, and you want to use this style, go up and down, and then click the menu for it to go to the next setting. And then we're gonna click OK for information, and then we're gonna click OK for oil life, and then we're gonna click OK to reset oil life, and then we're gonna hold OK. And there we go. Oil life reset successful. Oil life 100%. Perfect. And that's how you change the oil, to reset the oil life for your Ford Maverick. All right, guys, so we just changed the oil, 5.5 quarts in, new oil filter, put our splash guard back up. There's no, that's just dirt from before, but there's no leakage, no nothing. And then we also reset the oil light, and then that's how you change the oil on a 2022-2025 Ford Maverick.